Brzezinski on undecided voters leaning Trump after the debate. She said, "I don't get it." Really, really, you don't get it, Brzezinski, the daughter of Zuzinsku Brzezinski, who some people try to say is the was eyes wide shut type of stuff going on, and because she talked about some of the weird stuff that she saw growing up. But I digress. I'm not gonna get into that. But we're gonna talk about what she has to say about this. We're gonna play the clip and discuss this. I get it. I understand why people see that she didn't really come with any answers. She didn't really come with anything different during the debate where Donald Trump talked about specifics. She didn't. So let's we're gonna get into this clip. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account as well. Follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Let's play this clip. Here we go.
And then there's Jeremy Peters, who's coming after us. Wah, wah. In your new piece, Jeremy, entitled "Pundits Said Harris Won the Debate, Undecided Voters Weren't So Sure." And you write in part this: in interviews with...
Hold on. It doesn't matter what pundits say. It matters what the voters say, and specifically the independents. So you don't have to get it. You don't have to understand it. They are the ones that get to cast their vote.
The undecided voters, many of whom the Times has interviewed regularly over the last several months, they acknowledged that Ms. Harris seemed more presidential than Mr. Trump. And they said she laid out a sweeping vision to fix some of the country's most stubborn problems. But they also said she did not seem much different from Mr. Biden, and they wanted change. And most of all, what they wanted to hear and didn't was the fine print. Voters...
That is exactly what everyone is saying. She keeps talking about growing up middle class, like that's supposed to help us resonate with her. I grew up in the middle class, and my neighbors mowed their lawn. Like, what are you talking about? No, we want to know, what are you going to do to fix this economy? We don't care anything about those other things.
Said they were glad she has a tax and economic plan, but they want to know how it will become law when Washington is so polarized. They know she wants to give assistance to first-time home buyers, but doubted that it was realistic. And Jeremy, I ask you, is their answer Donald Trump? Because I guess I see the questions. I think there was only so much that she could do in that debate in order to be as effective as she was. And I agree. There are a lot more questions. Of course, I would love to ask Kamala Harris about her leadership style and her plans and how she plans to execute. But are those undecided voters saying, I'm going to kind of lean Trump here because I want change? I don't get it.
No, I don't think that a lot of them are saying they're leaning Trump. Some of them certainly would, but I think the bigger risk for her is that they're just going to stay home, that they're not motivated, inspired enough by her. Because remember, people don't really know her. You know, as we've quoted many voters saying, and many Democratic strategists saying, she's famous as vice president. Of course, she has very high name recognition, but she's largely unknown as a candidate and a politician. I mean, she was elected to the United States Senate in 2018. She's hardly, been on the national stage for a long time. And she has had, let's not forget, a really truncated campaign period to introduce herself to voters. That's what the next 8 weeks are all about. And something, Mika, you point out is very correct. You can't do in 2-minute answers in a debate. So there's not going to be another debate.
Yeah, but she don't sit down and do real interviews. This softball questions and she never really answers the questions. He talked about, well, she can't basically give it caping for saying, oh, she can't really give the specifics in a 2-minute debate. Well, Trump gave specifics, and Trump goes around and do tons of interviews and town halls and rallies and podcast where he explains his thing. He posted his agenda on his website, you know, and so we know where Trump stands. We know his policies. We know where he said he's going to try to implement to fix the economy. Kamala Harris, we still don't know. We still do not know. And they refuse to do like any long form interview. 10 minutes of that interview she did today, 18 minutes, well, I think it came up to like 15-minute interview that she, after they edited and stuff, that she did for CNN. She's not really sitting down long form and telling people specifically what she would do. Trump will sit down and ramble all day on specifics of what he would do. That's why she is losing.
It looks like. In a way, I think that's almost good for her campaign because they can continue to introduce her to the voters who still need convincing on their own terms in these large rallies, in these controlled settings. I think she's going to eventually have to do some more interviews. You know,
But that's the thing. Even in these settings, these rallies where they bust people in, she's saying the same exact stuff verbatim. And light on the specifics. So what is he talking about here?
He's only done the one so far, and you know, but there's 8 weeks, and that's an awful lot of time to convince people. There's a sliver of people really that need convincing, need motivating, and.
So there you have it. They really they're beside themselves. They don't understand it. They don't get the plight of the average American because they live in their bubbles, especially Brzezinski. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out JJthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.